Jobless Reincarnation in a nutshell. Alright, so at first I thought this was gonna be a generic ass show. It's about a guy who gets hit by a truck. They sprinkle in a few jokes about him being overweight and playing too many video games. A whole bunch of bland shit. But something caught my attention. The raindrops. Why were they moaning? And right before he dies, this dialogue. That is some weird ass Spanish. And then when he dies, that moaning. Welp, this 30-year-old gamer got reincarnated as a baby. He might be 0 years old, but he's still got that 30-year-old horniness inside him. Out here trying to touch on his own mother. Those baby hands can't reach shit. After 6 months, our boy learns how to understand the new world's language. And like any baby should, he starts exploring his environment. I don't think I've ever seen a hornier protagonist. Touching dirty laundry is already down bad enough, but then he takes it to another level. I don't think it gets worse than this.
Yes it does.
Ew, man, come on, bro.
Thank God he isn't turned on by his mom, so he ends up putting his attention on the maid. The maid is creeped out as fuck by him though, and who could blame her? She's just minding her own business, and then this little ass baby gives her this look with her shit on his face. He might have the mind of a 30-year-old, but he's still got the balance of a fucking infant. His mom casts a healing spell on him, which causes Rudius to realize he's in another world.
Wow, that's crazy.
We get a little time skip. He learns how to read in order to learn more about magic, and he manages to pull off a little spell. Emphasis on little. I mean, it looks really cool at first, but in reality, that's trash. Water balls are cool, but all they're really good for is making you look like you pissed yourself. Can we get a real quick moment of silence for Lilia the maid, please? She has to take care of this horny fuck, clean up his piss.
Don't worry, it's just water.
And look at how happy everyone is at the dinner table, except for her. Alright, moving on. Over time, Rudius learns more and more about magic. After a whole lot of grinding, aka pissing on other people, he tries an intermediate magic spell. Well, they call it intermediate, but this shit might as well be Hydro Pump. My boy has come a long way. Them splash days were getting boring. They decide to hire a magic tutor for Rudius. And there is no chance that his tutor would look like this. You already know they're gonna add in a yup, there she is. And then he's gonna yup, yeah, exactly. Episode 2 opens up showing us the kind of man Rudius was in his past life. Probably watches a lot of TV, has a kind of dirty room, but hey, he has a smile on his face. Some uninvited guests enter his kingdom, so he rises from his throne and charges into battle.
I think he lost.
Back in his current life, he's improving his magic and sword skills. Let's get it. But despite him improving so much, the things he went through in his past still haunt him. Rudius got bullied in high school. Fuck all of y'all! The only thing you're allowed to bully is 2D characters. After a lot of work, Rudius is finally ready to take his graduation exam. And Roxy helps Rudius overcome his fear of the outside. This is beautiful.
どうしました？まだ怖いですか？いえ、もう大丈夫です。
You see that my life is exotic. Foreign with putting on mileage. She wanna step in the pouring. Out of the norm, she just graduate college.
Basically, the test is Rudius must copy the spell Roxy casts. And let's just say it's pretty powerful. Like Oceanic Operetta powerful.
What?
Hold up, what was that sound?
No, not the horsey.
Foreign with putting on mileage.
Well, he passes, but who actually gives a f?
おめでとうございます。
She may have healed the horse, but not enough, that's for sure. Homie is still suffering. After Rudius graduates, she bids farewell so she can continue to improve her abilities. Now, this would be a heartfelt moment for me if they didn't immediately cut to this.
I am horny.
Later.
Later, Rudius decides to go explore outside. And then he sees some of that disgusting bullying shit. They keep on using Mud Slap, and this little fucker is about to use Rock Throw, but luckily Rudius hits him with that water gun just in time. After an extremely epic battle, with both sides trading massive attacks, this whack little fuck pulls out one of the lamest excuses in order to retreat. This is lame. Nah, you're lame. Get bodied. He checks up on the damaged Pokemon and goes, he's shockingly handsome. All the real homies just needed one glance to know this statement is false. After some time, he gets their name. Once Rudius gets back home, his dad is mad at him. For the most whack reason. First of all, that's not his name. And then we get some insight on Paul's parenting protocols. Is your son trying to use words to explain his actions? Man, fuck that. Why use words when you can just... I actually do kind of feel bad for Paul though. Imagine your son being mentally older than you. That shit sounds terrible. Well, Sylph starts learning magic really quickly. He's gorgeous. Look, let's just say a few hours after this moment, he finds out he was incorrect about that first part. Turns out her true name is Sylphiette. He apologizes to her, but the apology was garbage, so she starts crying again. It's all good. Paul gives his son some of his F-boy advice, and they stay friends. The next episode opens up with the news that Zenith is pregnant. Psych, who actually cares? Everybody knows that shit was gonna happen eventually with these two freaks. But when I tell y'all, my jaw dropped when I saw the next scene. My humble apologies, I am pregnant. It cuts to everyone's faces, and then the zoom in on Paul, the double sweat droplets, the subtle imagery, and this absolute Chad of a man stutters. Sorry, it's probably mine. But for real though, this scene was crazy. These two queens are having a heart-to-heart discussion on where to go from here. While in the back, Rudius is eavesdropping, and Paul is visibly down bad. They have a big decision to make. Where will Lilia go? My main man Paul decides to give some input. This is obviously a super rough situation. But then Rudius realizes not only does Lilia do her job really well, both in terms of keeping the house tidy and cleaning up his piss, but most important of all, she ain't a snitch. Rudius decides he's gonna help out Lilia. This guy pulls up to the conversation like,
Mommy, why is everyone so gloomy?
I don't know, maybe because your dad put his dick in a place he shouldn't have. And then Rudius does something I'm not sure how to feel about. He fucks his dad over. He blames Paul entirely for Lilia's pregnancy. This guy out here teaching you how to get women, so in return you do him like this? And this man spits some detailed lies. Paul tries to defend himself, but you already know. Well, after some more of Rudius's cornball persuasion, Zenith gives in and allows Lilia to stay. Things aren't all peachy though. That's the face of a man who ain't gonna get his wee-wee touched for years. And the only punishment Rudius gets is a little bit harder training? Bruh, I know if that was my kid, I would definitely...
Definitely what?
Oh, nothing, officer. I just put him in timeout. Hold up. Turns out it was Lilia's fault the entire time. Any thoughts on that, officer?
Hey, sorry bro, my shift just ended.
So now, Lilia is indebted to Rudius. We also unfortunately get a flashback of when Rudius was a baby.
Yep, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
The babies are born, so now we get to see some more Paul parenting.
Ew, man, come on, bro.
Like really, bruh. The way this man goes about parenting is just fascinating. Rudius gets a letter from Roxy. Turns out she's tutoring a prince. Sounds cool at first, but then you find out that he looks like this and does shit like this. They do say great men have great lusts. Rudius decides he wants to enroll in a magic university. And he asks for a well-paying job so he can cover Sylphiette's future tuition. Later, they're just doing some basic sword training, and a carriage pulls up and Rudius gets knocked out. He wakes up and comes face to face with a brand new character, Ghislaine.
Oh, wow, what a nice character design.
So it turns out Paul got him a job. He's gonna tutor a 9-year-old for 5 years. Ghislaine is the family's bodyguard and sword instructor. This is the girl he's supposed to tutor. Her voice sounds like this, and her personality type is kind of like this.
And this is her father.
Rudius decides in order to get her to listen, he'll put on a little act. It looks like they got fake kidnapped. Hey, I guess this must be a paid actor. He's probably gonna tell her the importance of learning magic.
Nice acting, I guess?
At first, I had my doubts, but this right here confirms it. Watch this, guys. He gives him that charming smile and a few charming winks, and this is all he gets in return. He heals her, and they escape. They catch up to them, and he's like right about to die, but Ghislaine pulls up and saves them. And the end of it all, my boy got himself the job. It's his first day on the job, and he gets to meet his student's mother. She might be mildly attractive. Now look, Rudius, you've come a long way. Please don't make that face again.
Somebody fire him.